Hey everybody! So if I were to show you this logo of our school, Peter Papermaker right here, there's a lot of phrases you might associate with it. You might think school spirit. You might think athletics. You might think Papermaker pride. But recently in London, a new phrase was associated with this: high fashion. Let me explain. In the world of fashion design, 4 cities stand out as major worldwide centers: New York, Paris, Milan, and London. And in February, the place to be is in England, London Fashion Week.
We do things differently here. It's exciting, it's fresh.
It's a place where anything can happen.
The energy here is fantastic.
It's unbeatable. There's no place like it in the world.
The way people just create these worlds, there is literally magic.
And one of those designers featured was Connor Ives. Now, if you just did a double take and wondered if you actually did see a Nekoosa Papermakers logo in there, you absolutely did. Coming to you from the London catwalk, right in the center of world fashion, is none other than Peter Papermaker. So to understand how one of our t-shirts made it to a fashion show runway helps to understand a little bit more about Connor Ives.
The style of my brand: silly, sustainable, and sexy. My name is Connor Ives. I am a fashion designer and I am based here in North London. If I were to describe our process, my assistant and I go up to the north of England, buy t-shirts, cycling tops, anything that we're using as raw material for the collection. We'll buy them in bulk. We'll get everything in the studio. We'll process it. We'll sort it by size. And then it becomes this crazy game of making compositions. We'll take t-shirts and we'll almost like a puzzle, put them together.
It's so close.
It sounds like a very easy process when you say it like that, but this is, weeks and weeks and weeks of toiling.
Now, when I first saw this, my first thought was, wait a minute, this is photoshopped. I mean, how does Peter Papermaker end up in the middle of London Fashion Week? But it's true, it really happened. And when people from Nekoosa saw that, they got really excited. They got excited that they were being represented in the world centers on the biggest stages. Now, what's even cooler about that is Connor Ives, the designer who put all this together, saw that excitement and then responded to Nekoosa. Here's what he said. On the Nekoosa High School Instagram account, Connor Ives commented, "Hey Nekoosa residents, wanted to put this somewhere where you would all see this, as a lot of you have asked how your mascot ended up on our runway. 75% of our pieces come from either vintage or dead stock material, in this case, vintage t-shirts. We work with wholesale sellers in the UK who buy secondhand in bulk from the States that we then sort through to find our raw material. Being from the States myself, I'll often find t-shirts all the way over here in the UK with mascots from small liberal arts colleges and schools my friends went to. The supply chain is crazy, that this t-shirt ended up all the way over here in a warehouse in the middle of England. So that's how Peter the Papermaker ended up on one of our dresses. I was so touched by the town's response and how interested you guys were in hearing the story, and I hoped you liked it. We only do it with love. I have no personal connection to Nekoosa. We just use the t-shirts at random, and I loved this one. Hope to pass through Nekoosa one day, and thank you again." Now, in my mind, the greatest thing to come from this whole event is that Peter Papermaker represented Nekoosa well. Most of the people who attended London Fashion Week and saw this had never even heard of Nekoosa before, but now they have, and they heard about Nekoosa associated with a positive experience. London Fashion Show, high fashion, really cool stuff, and therefore they'll think positive things about Nekoosa if they ever hear the word again. Now, chances are that you're never going to be on the catwalk in London Fashion Week like Peter Papermaker was there. However, You represent Nekoosa every time you walk outside the doors of our school, to our community, to other schools, and anyone who knows where you're from. And so for today's challenge, I'd like you to think about two things. First of all, discuss in your classes, number one, where are places that you represent Nekoosa? It might be athletics, it might be in the community, it might be at church, wherever it may be. Where do people know that you're from Nekoosa? And second of all, what type of things can you do to represent Nekoosa positively? That when they hear the word, that they will associate that with good things. All right, discuss those in your classes and have a great day.